The Crown Season 4. I just binge watched the entire thing, and yes, it took me this long. What is up, SmackNPie? SmackNPie here. Welcome to a brand new series on the channel. Today we are going to talk about The Crown Season 4, one of the most popular shows of recent times, obviously, and today we are specifically focusing on the ending. Now, off the bat, there are quick points and notes I made here. First of all, this was by far the best season by a long mile. We got more stuff to do, Peter. Well done. Second of all, Josh O'Connor and Emma, you both nailed it. Well freaking done. Seasons 1 to 3 set up this season's ending perfectly, and with each season passing by, there is a message and a payoff that leads to another payoff for the next season. Season 1 focused on the Queen Elizabeth. We saw her development, her character, her story, things from her perspectives. And although other seasons focused on the Queen herself, it was Season 1 which focused more on Queen herself rather than the crown. Season 2 focused on Phillip. Season 3 was kind of sort of the end result of Season 1 and 2, everything coming together, especially for Queen and Prince Philip, obviously, but it also opened the gate to problems for other characters of the royal family. Here we talk about Season 4. This video I will only tackle in-house story, no political stuff, none of that. Princess and Prince Charles story, to be exact, since that's where the most of the spotlight went anyway. Princess Anne put it together perfectly. Princess and Prince of Wales, their matchup was never supposed to work. One of them was too old and one of them was too young, and that was a bad match for any relationship, let alone this one, let alone for a royal household. Queen, in one of the latter episodes of the season, also summarized the situation quite well. Prince Charles' immature behavior led to Princess Diana having psychological problems, which then led to her being the way she was in the entire season. But it all started back in Season 2, which was a direct response to Season 1's development of the entire monarchy, especially Queen Elizabeth. So in short, Queen has had enough of this entire mess between Prince and Princess and expects the couple to finally take responsibility, grow up, and suck it all up because they're in this system now and it is required of them. However, both being the way they are had different perspectives on the entire situation. Charles will never be satisfied until he gets Camilla, who will never be liked by public because of Princess Diana's reputation. That is purely to be blamed on Charles' early days and people he hung around with from Season 1, 2 most specifically, and Season 3's latter part. But even then, he had a chance to finally put everything in the past and start over when all the signs were pointing towards putting this affair with Camilla, who's already married to another person, putting all of this behind and starting over with Princess Diana. We saw that chance in Australia and New Zealand tour, the peak of their relationship, but nope, that went in flames. And for what reason, you might ask? Wait for it. Jealousy. Yep. Jealousy took over him. Just like any other marriage, you have jealousy between couples, leading to him doing stuff intentionally to hurt her, make her slip up, because she promised to the Queen and Prince Philip, obviously, to put everything she got to make this marriage work, which leads us to the princess and the ending. See, the ending of this season is really smart. Princess Diana was way too young when she came into this family, married to way too old for her man, Prince Charles. It was never meant to work. Not to mention the fact that these two, their marriage happened was to make sure that Charles, who was already in an affair with someone else, who was already in love with someone else, changes his mind and maybe, hopefully, come around, learn his responsibilities, and work out his marriage and relationship with Princess Diana, who was a direct victim of his complicated relationship with Camilla, which again was the main cause of this mess. Charles had one too many chances to fix this, but he chose not to. Princess Diana, on the other hand, however, she tried and tried until she has had enough too and started to find joy in other stuff. Last few episodes showed that point. New York tour in specific, that opened a huge door for her, but unfortunately it closed near every other door back in the royal house. Prince Philip, who was single-handedly the only supporter after Anne, who then, again out of jealousy, changed her stance from calling her perfect to resenting her, Philip was the final hope for viewers to support Princess all the way through. Him being an outsider, marrying into the royals, putting up with almost every bullcrap they can throw, all the necessities, formalities, all of that we saw in seasons 1 to 3. That makes him the only one that can understand Princess directly and maybe help her settle into this craziness. However, the last episode showed the final conversation where we saw Phillip realizing that these two aren't similar after all, and that this mess is not only Charles and Crown's mess, but also she, the princess, is a direct contributor in it, and that she's somewhat to be blamed for her condition too. That unfortunately making Princess realizing that no one is her true supporter after all in this family, which leads us to the ending of Phillip explaining that every single person in this entire system is irrelevant and deserves almost nothing, and all of them are supporting characters, literally, except one, the crown, being represented by the queen. The final iconic photo, which happened in previous seasons as well. Season 2 one was very emotional because it was a goodbye to the cast, just as this one is a goodbye to this cast before the new cast takeover for the last 2 seasons. The photo is full of imagery and themes showing how each character came about from their early days to this, how each finally came around to their responsibilities, finally understanding their role to her, to the crown. That also explains why at first Princess was hesitant to join the family until after Philip's speech to her about supporting the crown, because that's her life now and that's her purpose. Everyone finally getting on track. Yay, right? Well, yeah, everyone except for one person, or maybe 2, but this one is really important here, so yeah, 1. Princess Diana. At the end, she did understood everything by that point. She now knows no one is her real ally here. Her being conflicted in the last scene shows that she accepted the fact that she is not going to get the acceptance, love, and compassion from this family, her own family by the way, and this is the pivotal moment of her life. This is where her transition begins. That New York tour, matching with the final conversation with Phillip, is nail in the coffin for her that no, this isn't how it's supposed to be for everyone, not her at the very least. New York tour was the first glance at her recognizing that there are things bigger than the crown out there. The show didn't mention it at the end, but her biggest reason from this point onwards to still stay in the system whilst despising it completely is because of 2 reasons that the show touched but didn't go in depth, which will obviously happen in season 5 and season 6. Number 1, her sons, William and Harry. A good chunk of time was dedicated in this season to show how much she loves her sons. We saw that, how much she cares about them and how much she wants to be there for them. And number 2, helping out in charities. Many of you might have missed this, but Queen actually talked about this a little bit, where she showed her unlikeness towards Princess being picky with charities. These 2 points will be the main focus in the upcoming seasons, points where she will truly find happiness, try to, purpose. And this is where the unfortunate events will occur, one after another. Good freaking job, Peter. Well done. Now, before I leave you, in season 4's early episodes, Queen's mother and sister, and a later part of the season, Charles and Camilla, all of them hinted heavily towards quote-unquote something bad happening to the princess, that he will be a victim of this fairy tale, and they, Charles, Crown, Camilla, and everybody else, this entire system, will be the villain here. And that's where I'm gonna end it, ladies and gentlemen. Do let me know what are your thoughts on the ending, what are your thoughts on the entire season. I loved it. We're gonna make more videos on this one as well as season 5 news, so make sure you are subscribed and notifications on. Help me get to 50k, and I'll see you boys and girls obviously on Flip Flop Inside. Thank you for watching.